Hey, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Lewis, and behind me is my 2022 GR Supra. And yeah, I bought this about almost a year ago, April of last year. So in a couple months, it'll be a year. Yeah, I originally wasn't supposed to get this car. I was originally in the market for a GR 86, but I couldn't find one in a manual for the life of me. And yeah, I had a deposit down. The dealership, you know, it was like 3 months went by, they didn't have any. And I don't know if, I still think they don't have any. They have like one or two every now and again. But anyways, so since the dealership couldn't get me a manual GR 86, I ended up getting my deposit back. A dealership shortly after called me saying they have a GR Supra available at MSRP. So I impulsively went and picked it up. I know it sounds like I'm contradicting myself because I wanted a manual GR86, and this is not a manual, this is an 8-speed automatic. But I've always wanted a Supra. I didn't really care that it came with a BMW engine. I didn't care that it had an automatic transmission. I saw what these were capable of when the 2020 models came out, and ever since then I just fell in love with the performance. And honestly, I know the look can be controversial. Right, a lot of people, this isn't everybody's taste. It's my taste personally. I love the car and I fall in love with it more and more every time I drive it. So yeah, so with that being said, how much did I pay for it? Because I know this question is gonna come up. So they quoted me MSRP, I think it was like 60K in 2022. I mean, MSRP was probably less than that, but after they have to add in destination, it came with appearance package. So it came with a clear bra already, which honestly has already saved my life. And it came with a ceramic coat already, which is surprisingly really well from the factory. And they give you an extra bottle of the ceramic coat that they used. And it's held up pretty well almost a year later. I don't drive the car a lot. It has probably 4,000 miles on it right now. So it's, with the 4,000 miles, I mean, that's not a lot. It's still practically brand new and it's holding up perfectly fine. So yeah, they quoted me 60,000. I ended up paying 63 after destination. And I think I got a warranty on it for all the electronics and stuff because, as many of you know, we can address the elephant in the room. This is a 90% BMW. And BMW electronics is known to have its faults. So I already deal with it. Some of the buttons, when you press them, they don't automatically do what they're supposed to do. You gotta press it a number of times, which can be pretty annoying. So if you're in the market for this car, or even if you know BMW stuff, that's a thing, right? It's still a thing here. When I go to touch the door handle so it automatically unlocks with my key nearby it, sometimes it doesn't work. So that's kind of annoying, and it's just stuff like that that, you know, really reminds you that this is a BMW product and not a Toyota product, because Toyota is pretty reliable as far as most things goes, including the engine. So next big thing is the engine. Obviously it's a B58. It is not a Toyota engine. A lot of you are upset about that and were upset about that when the car originally came out. It probably wouldn't be so upsetting for so many people if the Supra badge wasn't attached to that. But because, you know, this was a collaboration between Toyota and BMW, I know a lot of you guys didn't really like that, and that's okay. We all have our, you know, opinions on it. I personally didn't care. I did when it first came out, but then I saw what it was capable of, and I was like, okay. I mean, I understand why Toyota picked that engine, and I'm okay with it. A lot of people are making 600-700 horsepower on this engine without really doing much to it. I'm not too, you know, keen on this platform yet. I'm still trying to learn. I have done some mods to it. I've done catless downpipe, upgraded the charge pipes. I've done a flex fuel sensor on it, and I'm put a different intake air filter because I don't have an aftermarket intake. And I have JB4 on it. That alone has turned this car into a completely different animal, just adding that much more horsepower. I mean, the downpipe alone opens up this car so much, and then when you start adding ethanol, it's pretty crazy. And yeah, I'll show you guys here in a moment what it looks like doing a launch from this car. And yeah, but anyways, so far I love the car. I have no complaints on it. Let me know what you guys want to see from it. I'll try to do what I can with a locked ECU. you know, unless somebody wants to sponsor me an unlock, you know, it's going to be a little bit, because a large majority of my projects do still go to the Civic. This one is really a fun daily, not a fun daily, really fun weekend car. The Civic is still my daily / project car. Then I drive this whenever the Civic is down for when I'm doing projects. So I try not to work on both cars at the same time, because I don't want to be out both cars. But yeah, this is the premium package, so you know, you get a lot of better stuff. I haven't really done much to the exterior, and I'll go ahead and show you what I did to the exterior. I've pretty much did the thick whips. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that guy. He seems pretty cool. I did the thick whip badges. They're the black Toyota badges in the front and the rear. And then I did the carbon vents from factory. Those vents are plastic and fake, and they're still non-functioning when you do the carbon vents, but at least they're carbon and they look a lot better than cheap plastic. You think paying 60 plus for a car, you'd get some nicer vents. I don't know why, but anyways, yeah. There's not much to it. I added a cheap $300 carbon wing to the back of it. I forget where I got it from, to be honest. And yeah, I got a custom license plate in honor of Paul Walker, really, who, I mean, we all know him from Fast and the Furious, and that was really one of the movies that spiked my interest in cars. And you know, I was in love with those movies when they were originally about street racing, not about saving the world. So yeah, I like it. I really love this car. Let me know what you guys want to see. This is just kind of like an intro to me spontaneously buying this car. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy it. So see you guys later. Hopefully the audio is not terrible. This is on my GoPro. And yeah, here it is. We're just gonna go inside. I'll show you what it's like to get in it, and really what it looks like from my point of view. I'm 5'11", 220 pounds right now, so it can be a little tight in there. But yeah, let's go ahead and take it for a spin. All right, hopefully you guys can see something.